What's up, everybody? It's Devin with the Rise Training Club, and it is time for me to teach you guys how I like to make eggs. This is called Jake Brewer's, he likes to call it the Devin Special, and it is, a lot of people have seen me make it, but I'm going to help you guys. So I will talk about it first. We need to be able to, how do I switch it around again? There we go. See the spinach? I've been cooking it. I usually do medium, right under medium, or like 45 degrees here, just for slow. I don't like my olive oil spray to be popping, so it's kind of a slow cook for a little while. It's starting to brown, so I definitely need to get the eggs in there. But that brown will make for a little sweet taste, so that's okay. And my ingredients for the day, we have our cage-free eggs, hummus, and beet kraut, and we're going to be making some avocado toast as well. And the toast that I'm using, you want to try to find a good sourdough. This isn't the most ideal, but it's still better than most, which is just a Sprouts San Francisco sourdough. Probably should have went organic, but you know what's going to work for today. I also use Ezekiel toast, and that doesn't taste as good, but it's still good, and it's going to be actually even better for you. What you're trying to do is not spike your blood sugar. So I am always try to do that. You can always have someone make, if you know someone who makes avocado toast, not avocado toast, but sourdough toast, then you can get some really, usually some good ingredients from those people. So if we have any sourdough toast makers out there, give your boy a holler, and I'll consider using your toast. Okay, so let's go ahead and add to these eggs here. I'm going to set you guys back over here. There we go. You can make them however you want. And I usually, if I'm doing the pure Devin special, it's going to be a couple of eggs. If I'm trying to be good on my fats, I'll do 1 egg over easy, and then I'll add in some egg whites. So that's what I'm doing today. But feel free to do just a couple of eggs or a few eggs, however you want to do it. And I can show you guys, if you don't know how to make over easy eggs. Well, it's not like, you gotta get it just right. And sometimes I fail, sometimes I get it right. I'm sure there's some tips you guys could share. But if you see me doing something, hey, there's a better way to do that, I'm always all ears. Let me find my cup. So again, if you're really trying to get that protein in, egg whites are a good go-to if you can eat those. And it's a good way to do it without having to take in a lot of fats. Also, I would love to have a predictable time that I'm going to be making these. Maybe it could be Mondays, but it may not always be morning if I'm not cooking breakfast. So, the eggs have started. I will show you guys how I make the toast. Now, a toast is interesting, how I make it, but you just have to trust me. If you, we'll talk about it in a second. Let me get my stuff ready. I don't have a lot of avocado. I have a little bit. Sad day. I need to get some more. Let me get I forgot my one ingredient. Okay, I'm back. So, I'll actually tilt you guys this way and you can see what I'm doing. All right, so the way I make this is, let's turn on the light so you guys can see better. So what I do, and depending on how much fats you can take in, you can add more or less avocado. I like to use a fork. Why not use a spoon? I'll show you. So I'll get it on there. And I like to use a fork because when I press it, it kind of presses out the avocado. You can always use a knife or something, but that's just how I like to do it. I'm gonna use the fork. That's the fork that I'm eating with. So it's just an easy way to use less dishes too. Optimization. I have another little piece of toast here. Then the next thing, cinnamon. Now, where did you learn to use cinnamon with avocado toast? That's weird, right? So I learned this from John Tesh a long time ago. There was a John Tesh in a radio show, and he said one thing you could do to optimize and really start your breakfast right and be able to absorb the nutrients was to add cinnamon to avocado toast. And what cinnamon does is it slows it down in your digestive system. And so when it's slowing it down, it helps you absorb the nutrients from the food. So I started to add it and actually turned out tasting good. You're like, Devin, that's really weird. Here's the deal. I'm gonna talk to my picky eaters out there for a second. Get ready. So my picky eaters, what you is commonly said is, what I've been eating has been working for me, right? It's been working for me. It's doing well for me. But how did you learn about the food you currently like? You had to try it. You had to try it, right? So whenever we do that and we've already shut something down in our mind, now I have limits too. Like there's certain things that I'm like, I know probably not gonna like that. But I like to say I try almost anything twice. So most things I still try to give them a chance. Sometimes it's just getting over a mental block. Sometimes if you don't give something a chance before you even tasted it and you're already like, that's disgusting. It's because you have already blocked it and decided in your mind that you don't like that thing. So sometimes it's better, like you don't even need to look at it. Take a bite, experience it, and open the mind to new experience for your taste buds. So if you don't want to do that, that's okay. You don't have to do beet kraut. You don't have to do the cinnamon. Just not gonna taste as good, and you'll never know. Okay? So here we go. Beet kraut. You can also do a sauerkraut. You can do kimchi, but this beet kraut tastes good. Beet will often sweeten just a little bit. So I got my cinnamon. It's also, this is a probiotic, meaning that it's got good bacteria for your gut. Oh, and I also forgot, if you want to add a little hummus, you can do that, okay? So I forgot to add it. Sometimes I'm like, whatever, I'll just throw it on top. It's not that big a deal. If you want it to be perfectly artsy, you would just smear some, either the hummus first or the avocado first. Sometimes you just gotta make it work. That's okay. All right, so we have some toast, and then let's check on the eggs. So I'm gonna take a look and see if they're ready. Okay, they're looking ready. Don't worry about my green tea latte. I'll show you guys that another time. I'm working on that. Some people are like, oh, green tea. It's okay. You don't have to drink it if you don't like it. But green tea is good for the metabolism. If you're looking for a good natural way. Now, if you just drink it straight, you probably won't like it. But you just have to know how you want to make it. Okay, so got my plate. All right, let's see if I can help you guys know. You probably, many of you guys know how to make it over easy, but some of you, there we go. Can you guys hear me now? Thank you for telling me, Tom. All right, can you hear me now? Should be able to hear me. So you guys might have missed some stuff, but here we are, and I had avocado. It's nice whenever the avocado is not super, you want it to be somewhat ripe. I throw avocados in the fridge. If they're not soft, I will let them get a little bit soft and throw them in the fridge because they'll last longer. And I like to put them in containers and then reuse them once they're a little bit soft. If you get a nice one that's like too tough, it's not gonna taste as good. This is hummus, this is beet kraut, and I don't know if you guys heard the spill on this here, but this is sauteed spinach. I just, a little bit of this oil in the pan, and then I saute the spinach on this heat here until it gets like it's pretty toasty looking or a little bit browning. Now there's nothing on here, so let's go ahead and turn it off. And I did it over easy with egg whites. You can always just do a couple of eggs or whatever you like, but this is my healthier version. And so I have 2 plates just because I had an ADHD moment and just grabbed a second plate. Okay, so what I like to do here is take this, get some hummus, and start to spread it over my egg. So it's like you're doing a little paint job here with their hummus. And you might not get the whole egg. That's okay. Just get as much as you can. Just like so. Then I'll take some of my beet kraut. Just, if you guys didn't hear me earlier, it's a probiotic. It's just a sauerkraut, has beet juice in it. If you're like, oh, that sounds gross, you may have heard my spiel earlier, or I don't know if I was on mute, but sometimes you have to try new things. And if you're like, well, it's been working for me, how did you learn of those foods in the first place? You tried them, right? You had to try them. So if you are closing your mind off to those things, then you can't ever learn new things that you might or may not like. So if you're like, no, that's okay. You can do sauerkraut. You don't even have to do this part. But it is the mix of flavors that makes this what it is. So if you go and do a piece of what I do, and then you don't really give this a chance and be like, oh, Devin doesn't make good food. Well, you really didn't make what I made, did you? So that's my spill there. Maybe it's a little spicy for you all, but people be telling me, oh, I tried a sushi roll once. No, you tried a nasty California roll that didn't have anything in it, and it was gross. So I have now understand if you're like, no, I don't want raw fish because of bacteria and whatever. Understandably so. But if you're just talking about what tastes good, usually people try the crappiest version of the thing, and then they're like, no, it's not good. See, told you. That's how it works. Okay, so let's do this. Now, what I like to do here is, if you really want to make it good, don't go crazy, because if you have too much salt, that's not good, right? Not good for you. But we know that this beet kraut here has salt because it's made with salt to keep it good. So you don't go too crazy, but you can add. This is really hard holding the camera and doing this. There it goes. So just a little bit for taste is what I like to do. And then if I did my yolk right, now I may have cooked it too long, but I like it to explode. And then I'll have the sourdough toaster. Sometimes I'll cut the egg. So that's what I'll do today. See if we got a good yolk or if I overcooked it. Okay, I overcooked it. But you could cook it however you want. But what I would say is, this one I overcooked, so it's not going to give me that exploding that I like to dip my toast in. That's okay. We could still salvage it by, I still want some yolk, I still want some egg. And what I'll do often is make sure I get some hummus, and then you can stick it on the toast, like so. And then you're getting more like, it feels like an egg sandwich style deal with the toast and everything on it. So that is the Devin special. You guys have questions when you're making, if you ever tried to make it, feel free to ask. But remember, egg yolks is fatty, so the more you add, the more fats you have. And then the more avocado you add, then you're really adding up on those fats. So if you're planning on eating peanut butter or whatever later, dark chocolate, things that have lots of fats in them, you might go lighter, like add egg whites instead of a bunch of egg yolks. And my avocado, I'm gonna make sure maybe I won't use the avocado, and I'll just put the egg on the toast. So remember, think about what you plan to eat for the day. If you fail to plan to fail, right? So that is how you make the Devin special. And if there's any questions out there, please let me know. If you're like, hey, where do you get that ingredient? Or how did you do that, with the toast again? I'm always up for questions. So if you guys have anything, that's great. Other than that, you guys will stay tuned. I will show you different foods as I cook them. Later, guys.